Welcome back to They Reminisce Over You, a podcast that takes a nostalgic look back at the best in music, movies, and TV from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. I'm Christina.
And I'm Miguel. And this week we're discussing what we're calling white people jams. Christina, what are white people jams?
So these are songs that had us singing our hearts out, but they didn't always come from where we expected.
The songs that you'll hear on the radio getting played either before or after Mary J. Blige and you don't even flinch.
Yeah, think Tina Marie, Square Biz, or They Don't Know by John B.
Exactly. So are you ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
So to dive deeper in this subject of jamming ass songs coming from surprising places, we have some guests on with us today, and you've seen and heard them on the pod before. And you can catch them dropping the needle on Black music history every Thursday night. So who better to get into this conversation with than our cousins, Sir Daniel and Jay Ray of the Q Points podcast. What's up, y'all?
Hey, what's happening?
What's up, y'all?
What's going on, cousins?
It's been a minute since we had y'all on.
Yes.
I think it's been like a year and a half or something like
How
that.
much time already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time is flying.
Yep.
And we got to see each other at Afros and Audio.
Yes. Yeah, that was a good time.
Yes.
Yep. And this is a perfect topic. It's super fun. I can't wait to see what everybody picks. This is dope.
So the first thing I'm going to ask then, I didn't give you this question beforehand, so it's going to be a surprise. When you guys hear the phrase white people jams, what comes to mind?
Ooh.
Putting you on the spot already.
So I think I have, for me, I do go to a period of time. I do go to like that early to mid 80s era.
Yeah.
Where white folks was just kind of jamming. Like it was a lot of crossover.
Yes.
So even in your pop and your rock, you were still getting like a little bit of funk in there because
Right.
probably like a Bernard Edwards or a Nile Rodgers was producing it. So I do go to that era first. When I think of like white people jams, I go there because people like Tina Marie are just like black folks music.
Right.
Same as far as the era. Definitely the 80s, but also, your disco, and also quite frankly, I think anything that just slaps but just happens to be performed by a white artist is a white people jam. And anything that just has like literally permeated the culture.
Yeah.
Like if it's something that we all sing together at the top of our lungs, like whenever we all hear, she was just a small time girl. We love it.
Yeah.
Those are the things. So that's what I think of when I think of white folks jams and white people jams and just big, arena songs. Stuff that you can, that we all stomp our feet to.
Yeah.
And anything that if there's a bar scene in a rom-com, it's something that's gonna be played in that bar scene where everybody just starts singing together. That's
St. Elmo's Fire.
Yes. That's the definition of a white people jam.
Okay.
I think for me, there's two categories I think of when I think of white people jams. There are songs that you were surprised when you found out that they were a white artist.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are songs like, they're a white artist, but it just has a little more seasoning. It just slaps a little harder for some reason.
Yeah.
And I think that the reason why, maybe, I don't know for you guys as well, I think the reason why so much of these white people jams come from the 80s and early 90s for me is because we had to listen to top 40 a little bit more. Like we weren't able to, segregate our music. Like we didn't have a choice.
Right.
You had to listen to, 8 hours of this to get to 1 hour of R&B or rap or whatever, right? So
Programming was a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had to listen to it, and well, they were jams too, though.
Exactly. Yeah. For me, I put it down like this. Have y'all seen the performance of Lisa Stansfield on the Apollo?
The Apollo,
Baby,
yes.
The Apollo was going up for her.
When they start going, go Lisa, go Lisa.
When they start chanting your name,
yes,
you've done it.
And
Exactly.
her confidence was so beyond anything. I was like, this lady is ready right now.
So if you can make a crowd do that, that's a white people jam.
Yes.
That's my definition. If you get them chanting your name and saying go whatever, white people jam.
Yes.
Facts.
All right, so let's get into the reason why we're here then, the jams. So our first segment, we're going to call it I Don't Skip It. So these are artists or songs that if they pop up in a playlist, you won't even think about skipping them. And you might even run it back.
Yes.
So is there an artist or song that you keep in rotation that people may not expect you to listen to? And why do you keep them in your rotation?
So I'll go first. The song that I do not skip, and when I'm in my car, and it's actually on my phone twice, so it's gonna come up twice. It's Tevin Campbell's "Just Ask Me To" from the Boys in the Hood soundtrack. That song, there's just something about it. It just gives me joy. I love hearing a young Tevin Campbell, sing assertively that I'm a strong young man and you should understand that G. The lyrics are funny, but then I start thinking about the video that accompanied the Boys in the Hood soundtrack. And so they had clips of the movie playing. And that was just I remember that was one of the first movies that I went to the mall to go see by myself. And so it just resonated with me on that level. And it's just a jam. It was produced by Albie Shore. You got Chubb Rock on the rap. And so I'm going to keep repeating it. But then if we want to keep on the subject of white people, I do not, when the song comes up and it shuffles up, ABC's "The Look of Love."
Love
It's
that
the look.
song.
I'm singing that at the top of my lungs in the car.
We were listening to it in the car earlier, and as soon as that hip hip hooray comes in,
Listen,
hip hip hooray.
my part is when she said, "When your girlfriend decides to leave you, goodbye." That's my favorite part.
I like how he pronounces love. The look of love.
Love it. So yes, those are my jams.
Oh, okay. So what's interesting about this? And I would be surprised if y'all know who this is. So there is an artist, white artist, British artist that I keep in rotation. So I picked Anoni for this.
Don't know that one.
Right. So Anoni is super dope. So, and she has a designation of being the first trans artist to be nominated for an Oscar for her song, but she didn't go. She boycotted the Oscars that year because they didn't invite her to perform. So that's an aside. But I got into her. I was listening to NPR 15 years ago, and Terry Gross was interviewing her on Fresh Air. And I'm like, oh, this person's really interesting. Their voice is peculiar. So I literally was peculiar. So I ended up shuffling up, and this is the album. This album is called The Crying Light. This dancer, by the way, is Kazu Ono. This picture is from 1977. But even just this cover, I was like, who is this artist that is with this cover and doing the whole thing? But anyway, what I love about Anoni is she is groovy sometimes, emotional all the time, and always soulful. But this particular record is like a Baroque pop. I didn't know what Baroque pop was until I was researching this. I was like, I don't even know what this record is. And they were like, it's Baroque pop. So here you go. Baroque pop, y'all, is pop music with orchestral elements.
Okay.
So that's what's going on this joint. So I never skip Another World when it shuffles up. Now, you wouldn't put this in the jam category because it's really more of a contemplative song, but it's so beautiful. It's environmental, where she's singing about needing another world because this one's almost gone. But just that whole idea of that emotion and connecting with that emotion is a whole thing. So I absolutely love that record. I love when Anoni shuffles up because on her latest record, she's giving you a little bit of disco and a little bit of some funky soul on there. So yeah, she's always switching up stuff. So I never skip Anoni when she shuffles up. White,
ladies and gentlemen,
British
that is
artist.
the most J-Ray answer ever.
It's a very J-Ray.
Trust me, that's a J-Ray answer.
I need to explain why I picked her too. To that point, I was like, I don't know that people would be surprised that I would play a lot of things. So I was like, how far I need to explain to people how deep this whole goes. And I'm like, Only Another World is a really good place to start.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna have to
Into
check
this
this out.
Baroque
Yeah.
pop.
Exactly.
Pop.
Do you want to go next?
You know what? Why not? Now, like J Ray, I'm gonna have to give a backstory on how we got here with this one.
All right.
So I used to work on cruise ships, and this was from
Really?
like 2000
That's
to
so cool.
2005. So my first year and a half, I'm doing European cruises. So I'm hearing a whole bunch of Euro stuff that I hadn't heard before. The height of this album is when I was in Europe. Fever by Kylie Minogue. I cannot tell
Hot
you
album.
another Kylie Minogue song outside of this album,
Mhm.
but this one, I run it front to back.
He loves.
I
that
love this album. Love it. And
That album has such a
Unironically,
run.
like
It
he
did.
loves it.
I do.
Stylistically, the cover, everything about it. Like as soon as you said it,
Yeah.
I saw the album cover like in my head. It's
Exactly. So summer of 2001, I hear it for the first time and just been hooked.
As soon
And
as
like-
you hear dum 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 dum,
Yes.
dum 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 dum, it's like, oh, there
Here
it
we go.
is. It's a
And
jam.
like
I'm just
I
gonna
said,
fall into it.
I can't give you another Kylie Minogue song outside of that album. But this album, though, I'm
That's
all
all you
over
need.
it. I am all over it.
I'm choosing a song, and I'm choosing a ballad.
Okay.
And so usually the white people jams that I like are, they're kind of R&B like or R&B
Mm-hmm.
adjacent, soulful. I'm picking November Rain by Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
Great. I
And I-
almost picked some Guns N'
And
Roses
listen.
for this. I did.
Because
Good
this
choice.
is like way out of my boundaries. And I was sleeping on it at the time when it actually came out because I was like, I don't listen to white music. And because I was like going deep into hip hop and R&B at that point. So I was just like, nah. But the video is like a masterful mini movie. So I remember I would watch it and I was like, it's like I liked the song, but I think I didn't allow myself at the time to understand how much I liked the song.
Yeah.
But now that I've gotten older, it's like, I don't care. I listen to whatever I want. I still have my preferences, but like this song is amazing because it's 9 minutes long. I will listen to the entire thing every single time because it's like a soap opera.
It's so dramatic.
Yeah, it's so dramatic. And it has like a part two.
Yeah.
Like, you start off and then the dun 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 dun. And normally I don't like electric guitars. It's not my favorite instrument, but that Slash solo because it sounds like he's crying, which like goes with the song. And like I said, coupled with the music video, it's just like an amazing song. And I guess because it's also a ballad, it's not as like heavy metalish rocky or whatever. So I can get into it. So when I was looking it up today, I actually found a 12-minute version
Okay.
of when they performed it live in Tokyo. And so the first 3 minutes is Axl Rose tickling the ivory keys for 3 minutes before the song actually starts. And mind you, he's doing this wearing this like jacket and like red boxer briefs.
Yep. There has to be something has to be said for that late 80s, early 90s pop rock,
Mhm.
grungy metal era. They were like pumping out tunes because we were listening to Aerosmith,
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses, that Sandman by Metallica.
Enter Sandman was everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yes.
And so yeah, I'm with you, Christina. Completely with you. I get it.
Like even just looking up, I listened to the original 9-minute 9-minute version, and then I watched the entire 12-minute version too. So that was like 30 minutes of my day just doing this.
Just watching.
Just listening to
watching
it
November
twice
Rain.
and reading a little bit about it.
Oh man. So Sir Daniel, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Is there a song that you've played at an event or a party or a club or something that just gave you a reaction that you weren't expecting? You like, let me go ahead and slip this in and see how the people react.
Not like what we're talking about, not specifically about what we're talking about now.
Yeah.
Only because like the thing to do is always like DJs now, they think that to shock the crowd, there was a moment where dropping Just Like Teen Spirit was the thing to do to shock people.
Right.
But that's been done to death now. I have played Now I have played this an edit that somebody made of a Kirk Franklin song, and I played it in this lounge that I was DJing in called Rocksteady, which is supposed to be, you know, they're partying upstairs and there's drinking and people and, you know, lounging and loud talking and whatnot. And then you can see when the choir comes in and this beat is grooving and people are like, wait a minute, I know this song. And then you can tell the church kid came out of them all. They start clapping and, you know, and swaying in unison and singing all the different parts. So I think dropping that Kirk Franklin song, it definitely was a game changer in that moment. And it did give a reaction. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. It was like, okay, where are the church kids? Got them. There you are. I can see you right now. You did that double clap. You're a church kid. I know it.
Oh, man. So that's a good spot for us to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Break time. Jesus.
You might have to leave that in.
Oh,
that's your
man.
new jingle.
Hi, kids. Do you like fun?
Yeah.
And bookmarking a bunch of articles you'll probably never read? We're starting a monthly newsletter called Liner Notes. We'll be sharing what we're watching, what we're listening to, throwback YouTube videos, updates on our upcoming projects, random shit you may have missed on the internet, you know, stuff like that. The link is in the show notes, or you can go to toypodcast.com/newsletter. Do it.
Now,
It's good for you.
it'll make your teeth whiter.
And back to the show. All right, and we are back, and we're about to get into this next segment called Wait, They White? All right, so what are some songs that you were surprised to find out weren't by Black artists? Now, for me, one is like That's the Way I Like It, and I Get Lifted by KC and the Sunshine Band.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about you guys?
Ooh, so I had to think about this, and I wonder if me and Sir Daniel have the same answers to this. But now it's interesting because now it's easy to know kind of who people are just because of the nature of the world. So I actually had to go back in time. Like, when was the last time that I was surprised?
Right.
When Tara Kemp, when I found out that Tara Kemp, Just Want to Hold You Tight, when I found out that Tara Kemp was white, you could have knocked me over with a feather. I was like, really? Because it was just squarely in the middle of what Black R&B women were doing at the time.
Yeah.
So I was surprised by that. And the other one is actually from Canada. I was introduced to I Don't Want to Fall in Love by Jane Child on Black radio. And so when I not only saw that she was white, was like, oh, you're like goth white.
Yeah,
Like,
she's like punk rock, alt girl. She had braids, but not that kind of braids. This is like alt girl braids.
so those were my two where I was just like, what? Get out.
See, if it wasn't for Video Soul, like I would have been caught off guard too by them. But I think I saw their videos before I actually got a chance to sit with the song.
Right.
So it was like, oh, okay, this is dope. But the songs were dope anyway. So just like J. Ray, though, there weren't too many people that caught me off guard or surprised me. But I had to think about it, and then it came to me. Dan Hardiman's I Can Dream About You.
Yeah.
I was completely thrown off when Robert Townsend showed up in the music video, and I was like, oh, huh? Why is Robert Townsend lip syncing to the song? So, and then I had to do some digging, and then I found out Dave Hardiman is clearly white. You know, God rest his soul. But I used to love that song. I can dream about you. That was the only like jam that I was like, oh, okay, I was caught off guard. Now, a close second is the oh gosh, I can't remember the names, but the duo that sang the Dirty Dancing theme song. I Had a Time of My Life.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. What was their names?
Yes.
Yeah.
I cannot think of who's singing it though.
Let's see. It's a quick
The
Google.
time.
I realize there's a lot of songs that I know, but I don't know the artist name.
Right. Of my life.
But see, that's the clue. Now, here's the thing. Especially white men will always give themselves away when they're trying to be quote unquote soulful. they'll always go into this husky, they'll go into that husky tone, and they'll always, they'll try and give you a run, but they can't go all the way.
Right.
Kind of like how when Patti LaBelle hijacked On My Own from Michael McDonald.
Yeah.
Michael McDonald's a very capable singer.
Amazing.
But, when you put him in the ring with Patti LaBelle, it's like, you're not going to outdo me on these runs. And so that's the clear giveaway, but they're still very capable singers.
By the way, I've Had the Time of My Life is by Bill Medley and Jennifer Warnes. Jennifer Warnes is the name I remember of those two. But Bill Medley, though.
Christina?
I'm going with New Shoes. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Because there was like Jane Child and Tara Kemp. I had seen the video, and most of the time, like I was thinking Bobby Caldwell too, but I had seen him before I heard him. But New Shoes was something I found out pretty recent. It's specifically that song, I Can't Wait, because I find that Point of No Return, I feel like to me that can kind of go either way, but something about the way I Can't Wait sounds, like the production too, and the fact that they spell new shoes like NU.
Crazy spelling.
Christina was like, they black. Yeah, they misspelling words. Gotta be.
They throwing
I got
Z's
some
on
dots
the
over them U's. I'll do that.
They're Dutch, right?
They're from Portland.
Portland.
Yes.
I thought they were
I
from
just
like
looked it up
Amsterdam
today,
or something.
actually. Yeah, they're from Portland.
Okay.
So it's a husband and wife duo.
Mhm.
And the husband, I think he may have been originally from LA, or he used to live in LA. So she had said in one of the interviews that he would have to go back to LA every now and again just to kind of get to the big city vibes. And he would like record stuff off of the LA radio station because he needed his R&B and whatnot. And
Oh, that's fun.
kind of bring it back. And he was like really into R&B, hence the influences. But I think it's something about the it's so it's kind of like funky, right?
It's funky.
And then the I can't wait. It just I would not expect it. This
And those
white
claps,
couple from
the
Portland.
double claps, and
Yeah.
it's squarely kind of hip hop and freestyle
Mhm.
music. So it has that
Mhm.
New York influence. So yes, I can see why
Yeah.
you say that, Christina.
I Can't Wait has that thing that it's just the swing of the song.
Mhm.
There is a thing melodically that is happening in that song, which is like a groove that you can ride
Mhm.
to.
Yeah.
That's that thing. I'm like, oh yeah, they got that sauce on that thing. That's what that is.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple more. One of them I found out probably a good 5 years after the song came out, and that's Holding Back the Years, Simply Red.
Yeah.
Because I never saw the video
Uh-huh.
until probably like junior high school or something, and I just saw it, and I'm like, so that ain't a black woman? This whole time, I thought
A
it
white
was
man with
black
red
woman.
hair.
Woman.
Yeah, I thought it was a black woman
Yep.
singing that song this entire time.
Mhm.
And something I found out today, Son of a Preacher Man by Dusty Springfield. I never knew that was a white woman. And
Really?
she's British.
Yes.
Yep.
Hold on, y'all.
I had no
Funny you
idea.
say that, Miguel. One of my favorite songs from the Pet Shop Boys is "What Have I Done to Deserve This," and she's singing on that same thing. Yep.
Mhm.
I had no idea until today that was a woman from the UK.
I'm gonna have to listen to this.
A white woman from the UK. Had no
Yeah.
idea.
Simply Red also from the UK and kind of and legendary, like the Simply Red run in the 80s is kind of mad. There's a lot of gems and bops in that Simply Red run.
And a lot of covers too.
Yeah.
Tons of
A
covers.
lot of covers.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You know the British folks know what to do. They like, let me get
Yes.
the soul cover
Yep.
from the States.
The Human League when they got Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Human.
Listen.
Yes.
But Don't You Want Me is an amazing
It is.
song. Like just the
So
Human
funky.
League. Yeah.
We were talking about the dynamic of that song a couple days ago, how he sees it and how she sees it. Because he's like, I took you from that bar and made you what you are.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I was working at a bar, but I'm still the shit.
She's like, I was gonna come up with or without
Yeah.
you. Like you were just a pit stop. A little fun. And now I'm ready to go.
Exactly.
And he's all like, I made you. I can take it away from you. You were working at a cocktail.
I love that song. When I met you.
All right, next question. Is there an artist that you look at and say, okay, you're doing too much?
Ooh,
Oh,
a lot.
where do we begin? Sam Smith.
Sam Smith does
Oh,
entirely
okay.
too much.
They give him too much.
Okay, I can see it.
Like, I understand. See, here's when I think you're doing too much. And it's almost not the artist's fault either. But I think that they've done too much when black radio starts picking up your songs like Jelly Roll. What's that TikTok song that that
Tommy
guy?
Richmond.
Oh, yeah.
Those, and what's the other young rapper? His songs are pretty dope.
The $1 Million Baby dude.
Yeah, him.
He be doing too much.
So yes, so they're definitely team too much. Oh, and there's some people that don't do enough. I'm sorry, but Meghan Trainor songs are so mid. They are. Meghan Trainor songs are like the equivalent of Kato fashions. It's like you could tell that they're like strictly made for middle-aged white women.
Shopping
That shop at Chico's and Cato's, and it's just there's like a lick of soul, and it's pretending to be funky and fly, but it's just not. It's just not.
Yeah, I've hated ever since all about that bass, because it's like it's supposed to be like women's empowerment, but we're gonna rag on skinny girls. So it's like you're not really helping the cause by being like, I don't want to be like them ugly skinny girls. It's like that's not women's empowerment. But that's
And
like
it's too cutesy. It's like,
yeah, I hate it. I hate it. Ever since then.
All right, do you have one?
We were actually just talking about this not too long ago.
Okay.
I know there are going to be people who will be mad, but I don't think those people listen to this podcast. I think current Madonna, because we were just talking about this, because she was that girl in the 80s and 90s. And I just think now it's like she was a trendsetter, but now it's like just trying to keep up with the glory days. And she don't even like look like herself. She don't sound like herself. Because I stumbled onto this song that she's featured on the Weeknd song.
popular.
Yeah.
Yes. And like, if I was just to listen to it, I wouldn't have even known it was her. And even just watching her in the video and stuff, it is just like, you just look like one of the girls. Like, you're Madonna. Like, you don't have to be anything anymore except for just yourself. And I think I think from Ray of Light on, I jumped off. But all of the before that was like, yeah.
So you're not just talking about the catalog, but you're talking about everything, the look, the antics.
Yeah, especially like the current day, the possible BBLs and trying to look like the girls of today.
Okay.
And it's like, you were the one that everybody wanted to be like. And so it's just weird to see that like she should be living out her legend glory days instead of trying to be like with the current trends. It's like, you're the trendsetter, not the trend follower.
Yeah.
And so it's
I
just,
can
it was
see that.
watching that video was awkward.
Yeah.
And it's not like she
see
hasn't
that.
had
Yeah.
songs with rappers or like with black artists and black producers and whatnot. Because I actually went back and watched Secret just to
Oh my
kind of
God,
like,
classic song.
yeah,
tell you
let's
something.
see.
Bedtime Stories era is
Yes.
classic Madonna.
Yeah. And
And
so
not
just
for
like
nothing-
comparing that to the Weeknd song, it was just like, how's this the same person?
Yeah.
Not for nothing. I loved Hard Candy,
Mhm.
and
You did like Hard
what was the other one with Can We Get Together? The something Confessions
You-
on the Dance Floor.
Confessions is my actually favorite. This is my last favorite Madonna record.
Yeah,
So that's 20
where-
years old
That's
now.
kind of where I kind of cut, where I hopped
Yeah.
off is after is when that ended.
Mhm.
So, but I feel you. I feel you, Christina, because it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you don't need to do that. Sit in your
Yeah.
legend. Sit in your iconicness. You don't have
It
to
is-
do the extra.
Yeah, it's not even like, oh, she's too old to do this. I don't think it has anything to do with her age. I just think she's too big of a legend to try to follow other trends.
Mhm.
It doesn't really make sense.
I absolutely agree. It's funny that because I think there's some connection to the artist that I'm thinking about that does too much and not enough at the same time. Actually, it's that Jack Harlow kid, sir. it was a lot going on. And I know that he had a solid year where everybody thought he was the next Eminem.
Yeah.
And he was trying to be the next Drake, and he failed at both things. And he was just doing it was just too much. Like, I caught so many interviews with him. I'm like, he's just flirting with the woman that's interviewing him the whole time. And I'm like, sir, okay, this is a shtick now. So this is the thing, you're gonna get the women to swoon at you or whatever. And the songs ain't that good. So yeah, Jack Harlow, too much and not enough at the same time.
The one I'm gonna go with, he's kind of pulled back from it, but there was a time where he was doing way too much, and it's Justin Timberlake. So after he left NSYNC and he went solo, he was going way too hard to prove that, hey, I'm down. It's like the crip walking, the cornrows, all of that. It's like, you're doing too much. Like, just let the music speak and we'll be there with you. We don't need all this extra stuff. And now he's starting to pull away from that. So hopefully he's turned that corner.
Yeah.
I had such a disdain for him.
See,
I liked Future Love Sexy. I liked that, right? But then after the whole, it was a combination of things. After the whole Janet thing, and watching him climb and continuously latch himself to blackness in order to support his climb to fame, and then he would ditch that, and he would do that song with him running around in the woods. All of a sudden, he's a woodsman.
The man in the woods.
Man of the Woods. Yeah.
It's like
are you though?
I'm such a superstar now. I've been on SNL 20 times, so I'm a superstar. I'm Justin Timberlake. I'm cool. So yes, I completely get you, Miguel, on that.
Yeah. So Justin Timberlake is one of those white artists for them first like 3 albums up until like the 2020 Experience. Him, Maroon 5, they're on my guilty pleasures list. So every now and again, you could be in the car with me and you'll be riding along and be like I Love You will shuffle up, and I'm gonna be like, this is my jam. We're about to sing it. Let's go. But no, I feel you, Miguel. Like, it's actually, when I say guilty pleasure, it really is, because I'd be kind of embarrassed that I'm like, I really like this song. He be doing a lot, but this is my jam. So we gonna ride.
All right, so we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back. This is They Reminisce Over You. I'm Miguel.
And I'm Christina. We wanted to take a minute to make a small request of all our listeners. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Goodpods, or Podchaser, leave us a 5-star rating. You can also leave a review as well on Apple, Goodpods, and Podchaser. Ratings and reviews will help us with discoverability, and we want to get this out to as many like-minded folks as we can.
We want to get on the first page of these podcast apps.
And to move up on the charts as well. So help us get the word out.
Make sure to follow and interact with us on social media. Also, check out our website, troypodcast.com. It's where we post links to a lot of the things that we mentioned in the show, as well as transcripts and themed playlists that supplement our episodes and more.
Thank you again for your support. You ready to get into the show?
Let's do it. Okay, and we are back, and we are calling this segment the Tina Marie Awards.
Everybody get up.
This is where we're going to give some flowers and acknowledgments to some of the artists that we cool with. So first thing up, your top 5 white people jams.
Did you pick yours, Sir Dad? You can go. I got mine. I wrote them 10.
Okay. We got to go with Tell Me Lies by Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, okay.
Y'all going to laugh when I say this, but Only in My Dreams by Deborah Gibson.
Great song.
Deborah Gibson goes. And
off.
And close second is Electric Youth.
Yes.
Let's see. I have to give it up for The Cure, Close to You.
Okay.
The Pet Shop Boys, West End Girls just always does something to me. That's just a jam. That is just a stone cold jam. And I'm gonna give it up to Samantha Fox. Y'all be
Which one?
sleeping.
Oh
Some-
man.
Oh,
Which
okay.
song?
Well, you know, Jerry, you know.
Well, I
It's the
mean,
top two for me is Naughty Girls Need Love 2
uh-huh.
and I
Full
Want to
Force
Have
Get
Some
Busy
Fun.
one
Right,
time.
and I wasn't sure which one you were gonna go with. I'm like, is it I'm gonna have some fun or is it Naughty Girls? Like,
It's the whole full force of it all.
Yeah.
You know, the English accent. Stop moving like you're 40. You know, it's everything I need. It's just the whole 80s, the leather jacket and the ripped jeans. It gave me what I need, but those are like on the top of my white people jams.
All right, J Ray, you're up next.
Yo, okay. So my top 5 is apparently a ode to Swedish pop girlies. But we're gonna go Canadian pop girlies first. You Ought to Know by Alanis Morissette all day.
Do you
Thanks.
know like pop Alanis Morissette?
Oh,
She
so
was
I
pop
heard
before.
She was
about
pop
that.
like
before
pop,
the
pop
yes,
before.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We're gonna move over to Natalie Imbruglia, Torn. My goodness gracious, I love that song. Now we're gonna go to Sweden. So Licky Lee's Little Bit. Love that song.
Okay.
Any song by Robin, but I picked Robin's Dancing on My Own. Needs to be in my top 5. And a remake. So Ace of Base, Don't Turn Around is my favorite Ace of Base joint, which people may not know this. That is a remake of a Tina Turner song that has been remade like a gajillion times. Like
I had no idea.
there's so many versions of that song. And of course, Diane Warren wrote it. So I'm sure they was just shopping it as like a Diane Warren song. But the Ace of Base, Don't Turn Around is like
Okay.
whole
I
jam.
had no idea that was a remake.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I guess I'll go up next.
Yep.
All right. So, well, 2 songs that J Ray already mentioned.
Which one?
I Don't Want to Fall in Love, Jane Child,
Mm.
and Hold You Tight, Tara Kemp. I love when she's like, I need you. That little, I love it.
Yeah, she goes.
I love a white woman growl.
She dipped in that bag real hard.
And the video, she's like, just want to hold
She was doing
She was
choreo.
trying to
She was
get
doing
into
a
the
whole
choreo.
8 count.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's funny because when I was looking at these songs on Tidal, both of these songs are in the New Jack Swing playlist. And for
Deservedly.
Tara Kemp, so in Tidal, they have like 2 sections. There's like fans also like, and then there's list of artists, and then there's influences. So under fans also like for Tara Kemp was Father MC, High Five, Tracy Spencer, Ralph Tresvant. That was just some. And under the influences was Tina Marie. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
So another song is, this song is so silly, but I love it. King of Wishful Thinking. Go West.
I don't
From
know this song.
Yes, you do. It's from the Pretty Woman soundtrack.
Okay. You know
I
it.
didn't know it. I'm the king of wishful.
Oh, I know that song. Yeah.
I'll get over you. The song is so upbeat, but the man is heartbroken. You left a hole in my heart. And the video is chaotic.
She loves it. So
The video is chaotic. He's wearing dad jeans with this tank top. There's a monkey that pops up out of nowhere.
yeah, there's a lot
And
going
there's
on.
like things falling down. There's like ladies' legs walking around. And Jimmy Fallon and what's his name? They did
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd did like a scene for scene remake of it. Because Miguel completely forgot about
Yeah.
this song. So when that came out, I was like, you don't know this song?
Yeah, and then their version is so ridiculous. It's like nobody made a video like this. And you go back and watch the video, it's exactly like it.
The 80s were an interesting time, y'all.
No
Yes.
sense.
And he is just singing through the pain because he's the king of wishful thinking. I'll get over you. I know I will. So I love that song, even though it's so silly. And I'm going to round it out with 2 ballads. I got another, I'm pretty sure they're Swedish. Roxette, It Must Have Been Love. Also from the Pretty Woman soundtrack, actually. And there's a bunch of other Roxette songs. There's one particular album, I forgot which one it is, that I used to listen to all the time. No, I think it was like their first 2 albums. Anyways, but It Must Have Been Love.
Mm-hmm.
And last but not least, Eternal Flame by the Bangles.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yo,
I didn't see that coming.
listen.
Oh, I love it. I'm surprised you haven't heard me playing. That's one
I
of the ones
haven't.
that I run back. Yeah, that part, that at the end where she goes high.
Listen, who did not love a Susanna Hoffs looking from side to side?
Listen, right?
Yes.
She was, it was always a look,
Which-
and it was close up.
She said she did that because she was nervous about like
Okay.
looking in the camera, so she just didn't know what to do, and she did that, and it became like this iconic thing that we all remember.
Mm.
All right, let me drop my top 5 white people jams for y'all. First up, Wham! Everything She Wants.
You knew you were gonna pick that.
Yes, because George is in pain on this record. I'll tell you that I'm happy if you want me to.
Right.
He
want
is
me to.
hurting.
And that's like the way that cascades down. Ooh, that's a nasty part. Ooh, I love that
Somebody
part of the
tell
song.
me.
Babe, that song is amazing. So, Sir Daniel, you may remember this. JC had his 80s party at the Sound Table, which is long gone in Atlanta. He dropped that joint. It was all black folks in Atlanta, singing at the top of our lungs. You want to talk about releasing everything you could? It was George Michael and Everything She Wants all day.
Yes.
He is tired.
Next up, Cruel Summer, Bananarama.
Oh, good choice, bro.
Love
Next
it,
one.
love it, love
Good
it.
choice. I run that back, so that actually shuffles up a lot in my playlist, and I don't skip it.
And people don't. I'm sorry, real quick, but people don't give Robert De Niro's that's the other Robert De Niro song that they had. They don't give that enough love. I love that song as well, but I love Bananarama. Go ahead, Miguel. Just want to throw that in.
What we were listening to as we were setting up, It Must Be Magic, Tina Marie.
Yeah.
That one's on my list. This is a random one out of nowhere, Heart to Heart by Kenny Loggins. Because Kenny kind of turned into a little El DeBarge on that record. So I'm going with that. And All Around the World, Lisa Stansfield.
Mhm.
Even though she never says all around the world at
Mhm.
no
Not one
point
time.
during the song.
Not one time.
I'm going with that one.
I love it. This is a supreme mixtape.
It is.
Yeah. Well, the whole point of this episode is for me to juice y'all for song selections for our playlist. That's all this is for.
You better farm our music,
Right.
Farm our music IP. Can I throw a quick question to you all out there?
Yeah.
Since we're talking about white artists, now there have been times where a white artist will cover a well-known song that was done by a black artist, right? So I want to throw a song out to you, and which is covered by a white artist and a black artist, and I want you to give your honest opinion of which one you think is your favorite.
Okay.
I didn't mean to turn you on.
Oh, I-
yes.
Sherelle
Mhm.
or Robert Palmer?
Literally had this conversation.
Yes.
I think I've had to answer this before,
Mhm.
and I always pick. I think Palmer's version is the one. That joint is so sick.
Yeah.
That
This
Riptide
past
album
Saturday.
is over here in this joint. That Riptide album, shout out to Bernard Edwards. Rest in peace, bruh. They put their foot in that thing. Like,
Yeah.
so I think Palmer's version. That thing right
There we
there.
go.
You want to talk about 80s rock, R&B, pop, classic. Like, Addicted to Love is funky as
Yes.
all get out.
It's body roll approved. It is. I was when it dropped, I was just like, you.
Can you imagine if Shaka was actually on that song like she was supposed to be? Shaka did the vocal arrangement. She was like, oh, I was
She
supposed to
might
be a
have ate 'em
duet
up.
on that joint. Like,
I did not know that.
yes. So Shaka talked about this. So she was in the studio with Robert Palmer because why not? And she was on Addicted to Love. The label did not clear it, but she did the vocal arrangement. So while Robert is doing what he's doing is because Shaka did the arrangement. for it. But yeah.
So
but
what do you-
yeah,
so
which y'all pick?
what's your picks?
What's y'all version? Palmer
As
or
much as
Sherelle?
I like the Sherelle version, I gotta go with the Robert Palmer too. I don't know why. It's just something about it.
Mhm.
It's a little more smooth than hers is. Like hers kind of just where
definitely
it's just a
harder.
little bit more mellow. Like he's leaned up against a bar
He's
with a cigarette in his hand.
Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely. He was on his cat daddy stuff.
exactly.
Yeah. I think when Miguel and I had literally had this conversation, I think I ended up picking Sherelle,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but I think I like hers better, but his is just so unexpected.
Right.
Like hers is like, of course I like that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'll go with Sherelle since I'm pretty sure that's what I chose last time.
It is.
But his is pretty good too.
Yeah. Oof.
Thank
Well,
you for indulging me in that.
Well, if we're speaking
Of
of white artists covering stuff, I got to bring up the Smooth Criminal cover
Oh,
with
Alien Ant Farm.
that
That was kinda
cover
fly.
is amazing.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. When that came on TRL, I was like,
Mhm.
oh, they kind of ate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those kids ate that.
Yeah.
It was dope. The video was dope.
The video, and it was such an homage that
Mhm.
you're like, no, these guys are fans. Like this wasn't just someone's idea of like, you know, it'd be cool if we didn't know they're fans because that was an homage.
I forgot all about that. That makes me want to revisit.
Yeah.
That. Yeah.
Every time it crosses my timeline or something, I have to stop and watch the video.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Yep.
That to that now. Okay, so Sir Dave,
We're turning.
what are y'all thoughts? Right. What are y'all thoughts on because this is a group that has been kind of steeped in Black culture, but I like that they are just like white boys and they do like white boy stuff. But the Beastie Boys, like
Mhm.
I am such a huge fan of like
Since
every
day
record
one.
except the first one. Like License to Ill, you could literally keep that record. I don't care about it. All the other stuff, I'm like, yeah, give me all of that.
I start with License to Ill and run through all the rest
Okay.
stuff. I'm all in on BC Boys.
Yeah.
Because it's not like they're great rappers,
Right.
but it's just something about them.
Mhm.
And I've always been a fan.
I've never really been a fan, but I don't mind them. Like I'm not personally a fan, but it's not because I think they're appropriatey or they're bad. It just doesn't work for me. I think it's the too much yelling.
That's fair.
I
Very
love the
fair.
Paul's Boutique album. That's one of my
That's a
favorite
great
albums of all
record.
time.
Hey, ladies, is my jam.
Yes. Hey, ladies, and shake your rump.
Yeah.
Shake
Like,
your rump.
When he puts it on, when Miguel puts it on, I don't mind.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna put it on in my own time.
All right. We got a couple more questions here. You're up, Christina.
Okay. Is there an album that you would suggest for people to check out? They need to get up on their white people jams.
So it took me a while to get here, but Gavin DeGraw's Chariot, man. If y'all have not heard that record, there's no skips. It came out in 2002 or 2003. No skips on it. It has like a bunch of songs that ended up being on like TV shows or in commercials in that era because
Okay.
that would happen a lot. But that is a record that I'm like, you can kind of play straight through. You're going to get like a little bit of rock, a little bit of pop, and a little bit of country, and you're going to be just like full after. And it opens up with Follow Through, which has like the perfect lyric. So I'm going to read this lyric because I just think it's perfect. So since you want to be with me, you'll have to follow through with every word you say. And all I really want is you to stick around. I'll see you every day, but you have to follow through. I'm like, yes. Give me a good love song with a simple, beautiful, melodic lyric, and I'm good. So yeah, that's my choice. Gavin DeGraw's Chariot. Y'all need to have that in your rotation.
Okay.
All right, go ahead and grab a copy of Everything But the Girls Walking Wounded. That was like somebody made a mixtape for me, and that's how I got introduced to them. And then I went and copped the CD. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I copped the CD of Walking Wounded, and I wore that joint out. And I mean, it takes you from jungle, drum and bass to straight up house and to a little R&B flavor. It gives you everything that you need. And so yeah, so that's my White People Jam album recommendation.
Shout
Christina?
out to Wrong on that. Wrong is like my joint on that record. Oh my God.
I'm going to take it back to what I was saying about Madonna earlier and say the Immaculate Collection, because that's a nice little roundup of the early stuff that
Yeah.
I really enjoy. It doesn't have secrets since this came out before that, but it's a pretty good selection of her early work, because I think that her audience, they probably span like, I would say it's probably 2 or 3 different generations of fans.
Yeah,
So I don't know if the newer people, do they even go that far back? But yeah, I'd say the Immaculate Collection.
Okay. I'm going to do something similar and go with a compilation. because all of the bangers were kind of spread out over 4 albums. But I'm going with Duran Duran's greatest hits album, just called Greatest. You get all the hits on it. You get The Reflex. You get Is There Something I Should Know? Hungry Like the Wolf, Rio, all the jams.
Girls on film.
Girls on Film. You get all of them. So that's the one I'm going with.
I love that.
You want to talk about like these groups that we're talking about too? Like they were huge, y'all.
Yes.
Like, my God, they were big.
Yeah.
And they were game changers.
Mm-hmm.
If I could throw a caveat in there, just one more. Dummy by Portishead, every
Game changing
black
record.
kid, but it's a backpacker into hip hop. Love them some Portishead Dummy.
Their sidebar too. That second record is the scariest record like I ever heard. If I ever do like a scariest album, literally Portishead's self-titled second album is like, this thing is beautiful and it scares me.
Question: Is Bjork white? Is
She's
she all the way
Icelandic,
Yeah.
right? So
Icelandic?
She's Icelandic.
Homogenic. Pick that up, guys.
I do find that Icelandic people kind of look Asian, but I don't
right?
know what their
Mhm.
like actual makeup is though. But
Mm.
Might have to
Yeah.
run that It's Oh So Quiet when we wrap this up.
Mhm.
Post by Bjork is just, yeah. So many things. Okay.
All right. We're going to get out of here on this one. Choose one song to be inducted into the White People Hall of Fame or the White People Jams Hall of Fame.
Oh,
I don't know if I can get it down to one, but I'm
I
going to
know
try.
that's hard.
I got a whole list here, and any of them can be in the White People Jams Hall of Fame. I'm going to go with, just looking at my list, Wild Cherry, Play That Funky Music.
There you go.
Mm.
Because they're doing their little breakdown, and he said, somebody turned around and shouted, play that funky music. Right there. If that ain't
And I can see that
validation,
Mhm.
I don't know what is.
Yeah.
That is validation for the White People Jam Hall of Fame right there.
all right,
Ooh.
I think I'm gonna go next because I want you guys to kind of like close it out with your faves. And also, I completely missed this question until pretty much right now. I was like, oh, there's another question. I did not even see it in the notes. So since I didn't have the time to think ahead more than about 2 minutes, I'm just going to go with November Rain again, just because this song made me like something that is just so far outside of what I normally like that it's got to be like iconic then. So I will just pick that.
Mhm.
You're gonna go, Jerry.
I can go next. So my choice, there could have been many. I'm like Miguel, there could have been a lot, but right before we started this, I'm like, just write it down. Dreams by Fleetwood Mac.
Okay.
Get into it, y'all.
Mhm.
That song is so good. And it just never gets old. Yeah. So I absolutely love that song. If I ever meet Stevie Nicks, I'm gonna be like, listen, lady.
Yeah. Oh, I calling back to your earlier question about dropping the jam. 17 always goes off.
Yeah.
Like you could be in the middle of a hip hop R&B and throw in some, like I threw in some Stevie Nicks 17.
Oh,
That
yes,
went
yes,
off.
yes. Okay.
Especially if you
I was thinking
follow it up
about
with
another
Bootylicious.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So I want to preface this by saying I want to give a shout out to Annie Lennox
Oh.
and Cyndi Lauper.
Mhm.
And I tip my hat off to George Michael, but I'm gonna have to give it to, and y'all gonna laugh at me, but I'm gonna have to give it to Sheena Easton. It's gotta be Sugar Walls for me.
Sugar Walls is a jam.
It's gonna be Sugar Walls. I'm sorry.
I cannot tell
Come
you how
spend
many
the night
conversations we've had
inside
about
her
this
sugar
song.
Inside my
Oh,
Sugar
yes.
Walls.
Wow.
That song is a major topic of conversation in this household.
It is.
Listen,
Had many conversations
It
about
comes
it.
up a lot.
Yeah.
Really?
listen.
How so? Why? I'm curious.
I don't know.
It's just
We
like Prince conversation or just like
Just ridiculous lyrics and over the top
Yeah.
Prince at his princeness.
Yeah.
It's just and then you listen to the words of
Okay.
it. It's like, I can't believe she said that.
yeah.
Like, if we're in the topic of white singers, Prince had these white women out here just doing all kinds of things.
All kinds of stuff.
Singing their faces off. Yeah. Sheena was doing the most, but then Sheena went from Prince to then Babyface.
Yep.
Sheena was giving us jams, like bops
Yes.
after bops.
Mhm.
And I don't think we give Sheena enough, Sheena Easton enough credit, because she was rocking us through the 80s and the 90s as well. That Talk About My Love, where she was a ballad. It was also doubled as a Bally's advertisement because she had a new rock hard body. I mean, Sheena Easton was doing a thing, y'all. Sheena Easton was doing it.
Oh man, Sugar Walls.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's such a Sir Daniel answer to it. Come spend the night in my sugar wall.
In my sugar
Heaven
wall.
on earth.
I might listen. When we get off, I might just have to throw that on the turntable.
No, seriously,
real quick.
it's over here on the vinyl somewhere. I'm like, where is that album?
Oh
Oh.
man. And they just played that on the radio.
It sure did.
They did.
They did.
When you
Sure
think
did.
about it, it's like crazy. Erotic City got played on the radio.
It
like
sure did. Prince was
And
getting
let's
away
not
with
talk-
a
let's not
lot.
forget Strut.
Yes.
Strut was on. That was on the same record. You
On
know, she had a back to back because it was Sugar Walls and Strut. I was like,
Mhm.
Sheena's killing it.
Yeah, she was
Oh,
cooking.
and before we wrap up, got to give a shout out to Pat Benatar.
Yeah.
Oh,
Whoa.
yes. Little Love
Yes.
is a Battlefield.
Yes, we are strong. It's
All that-
choreography.
that shoulder was working.
Yes.
The same guy that choreographed
Was it Michael?
Beat It
yeah.
and Thriller and
Yeah.
choreographed Love is a Battlefield for her. So yeah.
Listen, stories.
Isn't
That
that
like
the
those videos
one-
were like stories.
Isn't that the video where she like saved all the street girls?
She
Yeah,
did.
She was a
Yep.
teen runaway.
She was a teen
Yeah.
runaway, and she.
Yeah.
With some very older looking teen runaways. Yes. Living in a halfway house. Yes.
Oh man. So yeah, I think we wrapped this up with a nice bow on top. Thank y'all again for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have y'all on. And anytime you want to come back, you're more than welcome to. So go ahead and plug everything.
Oh my goodness.
Well, first of all, thank you.
Yes.
This was fun. A lot of fun. And I'm gonna let J Ray plug because he did such a wonderful job of plugging the show. I can't do it like him.
Yeah. No, and I want to echo Sir Daniel. Just thank y'all for having us on, and just thank y'all for continuing to do like the work that you do. Y'all are like, y'all tap that thing, and that's like really, really important for the culture. So we just appreciate being a part of it. And so y'all can stay connected to Q Points in any way that you choose. If you can hear our voices and see our faces, make sure that you're following They Reminisce Over You first and foremost.
Yes.
Hit the subscribe. Then you can certainly pop over to Q Points. Make sure that you subscribe to us. We are everywhere you can think of that you can listen to a podcast or you can watch a podcast. So hit the subscribe button, share the show with your friends, family, colleagues, because if you love They Reminisce Over You or you love what happened here with us with Q Points, share it. Let the people know.
Yes, definitely.
Visit our website at qpoints.com and you can follow us on social media at QPointsPod. We'd love to see y'all over there. Thank y'all.
Thank you guys
Yes,
so much.
indeed.
And can I say where my background singers at is hilarious. That is a hilarious title of the
I
show.
can't wait to listen to that. I keep seeing the Mary from the Father MC video.
And when I say
With
it,
the
I
little
have to say it like
ponytail.
Patti LaBelle. Like, where my background singers at?
Yes.
You have to say it like that.
Yo, did y'all talk about you know what? I'm gonna listen to the show. I'm gonna wait and listen to the show. I'm about to ask y'all questions about it. So I'm gonna listen and then I'll talk to y'all about it.
Christina, you want to add something before we get out of here?
There is something that popped into my head, but I couldn't remember when we were talking about like white artists covering black songs. There was something we found out, a song that was supposed to be that was written for T-Boz, and somebody else.
Oh,
did
it was Hit Me Baby One More Time was supposed to be for TLC.
Oh,
Yeah.
Was it?
Huh.
Was it that one? Oh, 'cause
Yeah.
I remember when we talked about it, we're like, oh, that's why she's singing it like the way you would hear T-Boz.
Oh no,
sing.
and it was something else too. Other
Milkshake
than
was
that
for Britney Spears.
There
Was
was-
supposed to be for Britney Spears.
Really?
There was something because whoever ended up singing it sang it,
saying it like
in like a T-Boz voice. But now I can't remember what song it was. I'm pretty sure it was a white artist.
It was
Yeah.
the Britney and it was something else.
That's gonna bother me.
Yeah.
I can't see TLC doing "Hit Me, Baby" one more
Yeah,
time. I
now,
can see
but-
Britney doing
Hit me,
"Milkshake."
baby.
I'm gonna have to look this up.
I'm trying to think of TLC doing "Hit Me, Baby" one more time.
My loneliness
It's killing me.
T-Boz can sing that part. Yeah. Now
No,
I get-
because then
maybe it
Left
was
Eye,
that then,
like,
right?
but Left Eye couldn't have done a Left Eye rap on "Hit Me, Baby" one more time would have been wild.
Sometimes they leave her off songs.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
There's too many things on
Okay.
this list. I
Yeah.
can't even see anything right
Oh,
now.
well, we'll have to do an addendum for that.
Yeah.
But maybe it was "Hit Me" because it's like, oh,
Yeah, it was that one, but
because like
Yes.
you can kind of hear
Yeah.
T-Boz was singing that tone, right?
Yeah, I do remember it was another song as well that was
Okay.
written for TLC that
Mhm.
went to somebody else. But
Yeah.
we'll have to look that up and find it.
Check the footnotes.
Exactly. Yeah. On that note, if you want to check out the wonderful playlist we're going to put together, the playlist sourced from J. Ray and DJ Sir Daniel, that will be on the website, troypodcast.com. You'll get links to the videos we talked about. The full transcript will be there, all that good stuff. If you want to buy some merch, you can go to Nothing But a Tea Thing. That's our store. You can get the shirt that Christina's wearing. You can get the shirt that I'm wearing. A whole bunch of other stuff is there as well. That's TEETHANG.com. We also have a monthly newsletter that should be coming out in a couple days called Liner Notes. It's free. You can sign up for that at toypodcast.com/newsletter. And that's it. It's time to eat. And we're going to wrap this up and see y'all in 2 weeks. Bye.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.